Hello, orchid lovers around the world. I recently found this orchid in my garden. It has already blessed us with a set of beautiful flowers. But as you can see, those blooms are now fading and beginning to wilt. The petals are losing their color, becoming soft and droopy, and some are starting to fall off on their own. When an orchid reaches this stage, it's not a sign of failure. It simply means the blooming cycle has ended. At this point, the plant is still healthy, but it's putting unnecessary energy into sustaining flowers that are no longer thriving. To help it recover faster and prepare for the next growth cycle, we need to remove the spent flowers. By trimming them away, the orchid can redirect its nutrients and strength back into the leaves and roots where they're most needed. Now we can begin making a simple but powerful fertilizer for the orchid. Start with one fresh aloe vera leaf. This plant is packed with vitamins, natural hormones, and antimicrobial properties that help orchids recover and encourage new root growth. Carefully wash the leaf, then cut it into small pieces so it's easier to process later. Try to keep as much of the inner gel as possible, since that's where most of the beneficial compounds are stored. Cutting the leaf into smaller chunks also helps release the gel more effectively when we blend or soak it into our solution. Next, place all the aloe vera pieces into a clean container. To boost the nutrient content, add 1 teaspoon of uncooked white rice. Rice is rich in starch, vitamins, and trace minerals that orchids can benefit from. Then, pour in about 500 milliliters of clean water. Give everything a good stir to help the rice and aloe start releasing their nutrients into the water. Once it's well mixed, cover the container and let the solution rest for about 1 hour. Now let's move on to the orchid itself. As you can see, the flower spike, the branch where the blooms once were, is still attached. We're going to take advantage of this by applying aloe vera gel directly to it. Carefully scoop out a bit of fresh aloe gel and gently brush it along the length of the spike, focusing especially on the nodes. Aloe vera is full of natural growth hormones and vitamins that can encourage healing and even stimulate the growth of new shoots or spikes. Once you've coated it evenly, take a small hair clip, paper clip, or any soft clip you have on hand and secure the spike lightly. Then, cover it with a small plastic bag. Don't tie it too tightly, just a gentle wrap to keep it in place while still allowing airflow. This creates a mini greenhouse effect, helping to retain moisture around the treated area. After about an hour, our solution should be ready. By now, the aloe and rice will have released their nutrients into the water, making it rich and beneficial for the orchid. Grab yourself a fine strainer and carefully pour the mixture through it. This will filter out any pieces of aloe vera pulp or bits of rice that haven't fully broken down. What we want is a smooth, liquid fertilizer that's easy to apply to the plant. Now it's time to go back to our orchid spike. Carefully remove the aloe piece we clipped on earlier. Before we discard it, let's give the spike one more gentle brush with the fresh aloe gel. This helps the plant absorb as much of the healing properties as possible. Once that's done, we'll take the plastic bag we used before and wrap it back around the spike. Remember, don't tie it too tightly. Just secure it lightly so that it stays in place. Next, grab a clean tissue and dip it into the aloe, rice solution we just prepared. Make sure the tissue is fully soaked, as we want it to carry enough of the nutrients. Once it's nicely saturated, gently brush it across the orchid's leaves. Move slowly and carefully, covering both the upper surface and the underside of the leaves. This step not only cleans away any dust or residue, but also allows the plant to directly absorb some of the nutrients and natural compounds through its leaf surface. The aloe will provide hydration and healing properties, while the rice water adds a light boost of energy. Be gentle while wiping so you don't damage the leaf's natural protective layer. Afterward, use a spray bottle to mist the orchid with the same solution. Spray lightly across the leaves, stems, and even around the roots if they're exposed. This helps create a thin, even layer of moisture that the plant can slowly absorb over time. Misting also refreshes the plant, simulating the natural humidity orchids love, while ensuring every part of the plant gets a touch of the nutrients from our homemade mix. Just remember, not too much, just a fine mist so the leaves don't stay dripping wet. You can also apply this same method to your other orchids so that none of the solution goes to waste. Dip a fresh tissue into the mix and gently brush their leaves just like we did with our main plant. Then, use the spray bottle to mist lightly across the foliage and roots. Finally, pour the remaining solution directly into the pots so the roots can absorb the nutrients. Next, grab yourself a ladle or a large spoon. Scoop up some of the solution and slowly pour it around the base of the orchid. Make sure the liquid spreads evenly through the potting media so the roots can take in all the nutrients. Don't rush this step. Pour little by little, letting the bark or moss soak it up fully. This gentle watering method ensures the plant absorbs the goodness steadily without overwhelming the roots. You can also repeat this exact same process with your other orchids so that none of the solution goes to waste. Simply ladle the mixture around their roots, just like we did with the main plant. And if you'd like, give their leaves a gentle wipe or even a light misting. This way, all your orchids get to share in the extra nutrients, and you're making the most out of every drop of the fertilizer we prepared. Finally, take a clean handkerchief or a soft tissue and carefully wipe around the leaves. Move slowly and gently so you don't scratch or bruise the surface of a leaf. This step may seem simple, but it's actually very important. By wiping away any leftover solution, dust, or dirt that might have settled, you're helping the plant breathe better and reducing the chance of fungal growth or pests hiding on the surface. This also gives the leaves a natural shine, allowing them to absorb sunlight more effectively, which is crucial for photosynthesis and overall growth. While you're wiping, take a moment to inspect each leaf closely. Look for any tiny spots, tears, or unusual marks. Catching problems early makes it much easier to protect the plant before anything serious develops. After about 3 weeks, you'll start to notice some encouraging changes. Let's look at the orchid first, the one we treated with the aloe vera solution and regular care. The leaves are noticeably firmer and carry a healthier green sheen, a clear sign that the plant is absorbing the nutrients and strengthening itself. Any dryness or dullness that we saw before has begun to fade, replaced by a fresh, almost glossy appearance. Around the base of the plant, you may also spot the first signs of new root tips emerging, tiny, green, or whitish nubs that will grow into strong, healthy roots in time. These new roots are the foundation of the plant's future growth, showing us that the care routine is working. Now let's check the orchid spike that we wrapped with aloe vera gel and covered loosely with a plastic bag. If you look closely, you might see the tissue around the spike has stayed moist, helping the aloe to continue nourishing it. In some cases, the spike may even start to push out a small bud node or show signs of swelling along the stem. This is an indication that the plant is storing energy and could soon produce either a new flower spike or, in some cases, a keiki, a baby orchid plant growing directly from the spike. The combination of moisture, nutrients from aloe, and protection for the plastic wrap helps create a mini greenhouse effect, stimulating growth in an area that would otherwise just dry up. So at this stage, while there aren't full blooms yet, we're seeing strong progress. Healthier leaves, new root growth, and potential activity along the spike. After 3 months, let's take a closer look at our plastic-wrapped orchid. To our delight, a beautiful flower has already bloomed, showing that the spike we treated with aloe and kept moist under the plastic wrap has stayed alive and productive. The bloom itself is a reward for our patience, but what's even more exciting is what's happening along the spike itself. If you look carefully, you'll notice small roots beginning to grow directly from one of the nodes on the spike. This is a sign that a keiki, a baby orchid, is forming. Keikis use the spike as their starting point, and those roots will eventually allow it to become an independent plant. Now, let's not forget our other orchid, the one we treated and cared for with the same solution, but without the plastic wrap. Its leaves have become even glossier and stronger, and the base of the plant is showing vigorous root development. Some roots are stretching deep into the potting medium, anchoring the plant securely, while others may be reaching outward above the pot, showing they're actively seeking more air and moisture. This is a classic sign of a healthy, thriving orchid. Now that we can clearly see those small roots developing along the spike, it's time to separate our new baby orchid. Using a clean, sterilized razor blade, carefully cut just below the section of the spike where the new roots are growing. Take your time and make sure the cut is precise, because we want to keep those delicate roots intact to give the keiki the best chance of survival. Next, prepare a cup or any small container that has good drainage holes. Drainage is crucial, because even young orchids are sensitive to excess water around their roots. Start by adding a base layer of pine bark. This will provide airflow and prevent the roots from sitting in moisture for too long. On top of the bark, add a thin layer of moss. The moss will help maintain the right level of humidity, giving the young roots a gentle, consistent source of moisture without drowning them. Once the container is ready, carefully place the little orchid inside, adjusting it so the roots are resting comfortably in the moss and bark mixture. Be gentle during this step, as the new roots are still fragile. After adjusting the plant, give it a very light mist of water to help it settle into its new home. And just like that, we've successfully given our baby orchid its very own pot to grow strong and independent. And there you have it, orchid lovers. From a wilting spike to a brand new orchid baby starting its journey, we've successfully given this plant a second life. I hope you enjoyed watching this process and maybe even learned something new that you could try on your own orchids at home. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with other plant enthusiasts. I'd also love to hear about your own orchid experiences down in the comments. Have you ever tried propagating orchids from a spike before? And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more orchid care tips and homemade fertilizers just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy growing!